What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between the Kettlehead Brewing Company, and they're out of both Tilton and Franklin, New Hampshire, and the Definitive Brewing Company, and they're out of Portland, Maine, and this is their Pulp Up the Late Night Jams. So they're calling this one a, wait for it, triple stack strawberry chocolate chip pancakes with whipped cream Imperial Sour Ale that comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is just under 6 weeks old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Jim from Kettlehead for this beer. Recently, I attended the 2024 Rochester Real Beer Expo at Innovative Field in downtown Rochester, New York. Kettlehead was pouring beers there. And after said event, Jim sent me home with a mixed 4-pack of their beers. This was one of the 4, and I'm looking forward to it. The first one I reviewed was a collaboration between them and Modest Man. It was a double IPA. Forget the name of it, but it was delicious. Probably the best beer I've had from Kettlehead. So when I saw this one, I was like, this sounds very interesting. Now, I've had a couple beers from Definitive, courtesy of a friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Caleb, and I did have a late night beer from them, which was like their fruited sour series, and it was really good. It was the triple berry one. Triple berry something. It might have been just called triple berry jam, but it was pretty good. So when I saw this one, I was like, I don't know what they're going for. Sounds like they're going for like chocolate chip pancakes with like, you know, strawberry whipped cream on top. So like a strawberry shortcake vibe in 8% Imperial Sour form. I'm here for it. So let's crack this one open, get it into glass, and see what we got going on. So I don't know how this one's going to end up. Try not to cut my hand there, but it didn't open all the way. Anyway, give it a pour here, and that looks kind of what I expected it to look like based on the fact that there is strawberry in here. So we got a little situation where I already have like a half of a paper towel. I can't speak it today. Like, I can't speak most days, but today, paper towel from Bounty. Anyway, we're gonna try to pour this entire thing in because you never know with the goodies. Ooh, a big chunk just fell in there. I don't know what that was from, but sounds kind of what. Joe, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. That looks kind of wild. You know, when you think strawberries, people just think it's going to be red. That's kind of what I'd expect if you're using strawberries. It has this like this orange reddish color. Like it looks kind of like what I expect a strawberry anything to look like if you're going to puree strawberries or strawberry juice or whatever. That's kind of what it looks like. On camera, it's probably going to look a bit different, but in person it has this orange reddish color. About 2 fingers of this lightly kind of red colored head, lightly pink colored head. Probably not going to come off on camera because in person it's a very slight murky turbid. Hold it up to the light. You can't see anything through it. Kind of looks exactly what I thought it would look like based on the ingredients. Although they didn't really say the ingredients. So I anticipate there's strawberries in here, there's chocolate, and there's vanilla. That's what I would expect based on triple stack strawberry, chocolate chip pancake, and then whipped cream. That's what I expect. That smells fucking wild. It smells like you have chocolate chip pancakes, like legit chocolate chip pancakes that came out fresh. And there's like a drizzle of not like fresh strawberries, but more like the strawberry like syrup instead of maple syrup. It's like strawberry syrup and then a dollop of whipped cream. That's what this is. It almost smells too like this is more of a goza than just a generic like kettle sour, because I'm getting a little bit of salinity in the nose. Like there's a little bit of like this salty character. There's also maple syrup. I see nothing about maple. There's 100% maple syrup in here. But I guess triple stack and pancakes and everything, I guess that would make sense. There has to be. Jim, tell me, there's got to be maple syrup in here. I don't see any kind of ingredients list. I looked on their Instagram web, so what the fuck is happening outside? I don't know if that came off on the camera, but holy shit. Something like a car backfired. Yeah, I mean, this smells gnarly. It's exactly what they said. Like, it's very rare for a brewery to say, hey, this is what this beer is, and then throw it on the label. And they went specific. Triple stack strawberry chocolate chip pancakes with whipped cream. Yeah, that's what it smells like, to a T. Not much more to say. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Jim. It's fucking delicious. And holy shit, that's firmly sour. Wow, did not anticipate that. The back of my jaws, I like the puckering sensation hit like, I don't know, like 5 seconds after I took that sip, it just kind of gripped it. Crazy. Let's go back. This is fucking divine. I tell you right now, I can't drink a lot of this, but this is gnarly. And if you like these heavily fruited, like pastry sours, this is right in your wheelhouse. But I really appreciate a couple things about this beer. Number one, it's 8%, right? I can't tell it's 8%. Hides the booze extremely well. And the body itself, it looks like it's going to be thick and syrupy and over the top, and it's not. It has this, like, I'd say higher side of like medium body, lower side of full, but more just say, we'll say higher side of medium. 8%. It's right in the wheelhouse where I want it to be. But a lot of times you'll get like a 5 or 6% heavily fruited, smoothie, slushy sour beer, and it's like drinking an actual smoothie. It's super thick, it's chewy. That's not this beer. It's more refreshing, and I think I appreciate that a bit more nowadays than those heavily, heavy-bodied ones, like them thick and syrupy ones. But yeah, I'd say higher side of medium, lower side of full. It's great. The mouthfeel. There is a good carbonation here. It's mild to moderately carbonated, more approaching moderately. It has a smoothness to it, a bit of creaminess. Again, I like that the body and mouthfeel are more beer-centric than it is just like a fruit smoothie. And, a lot of breweries don't do that nowadays. And listen, there's a time and place for every beer, every style, in my opinion. Like, I believe that. And I can get down with those smoothie-style beers. Like, I drink them, from time to time. I review them. I got to be in the mood for them. This is one of those refreshing, heavily fruited beers where it's not over the top with the body and mouthfeel. It's not like you're actually drinking a smoothie. There's still beer properties here, and I like that. So body and mouthfeel, really nice. The taste, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, this hits, first half of the palate, middle of the palate, back palate. Nope, front to back. What they said on the fucking label is exactly what I'm getting. It's like you took a stack of chocolate chip pancakes, and then you put a dollop of, not dollop, sorry, a drizzle of like a strawberry syrup, some maple syrup, and then a dollop of whipped cream, and he said, here you go. They somehow condensed that into a fucking beer at 8%, and it's great. Here's the thing. Shout out to Paul. Here's the thing. The sourness is actually low to firm sour on the palate. Like, again, I get a puckering sensation with each sip. My palate's starting to get acclimated, so it's not, as sour as the first sip, because it kind of, it kind of hit me, and it was like, my palate was like, what the fuck is this? And then each subsequent sip was like, okay, it started getting acclimated. But the sourness is actually here, so this actually drinks like a fucking beer. It drinks like an actual sour beer, and I like that. While it's sweet, it's not sickly sweet. It's not cloying. It definitely is sweet, though. The finish is full-on dry. No bitterness to speak of, but full-on dry with a mild, say, acidity to it. Again, there's a pretty firm sour kind of feeling to this beer as a whole, but on the finish is where you really get hit with it. Like I said, 8% hides it extremely well outside of that body. And just how this tastes, you know this is like a bigger beer in general. This is really fucking good. And I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. When I saw this beer and what they called it and everything, I was like, I don't drink these a lot. I got to be in the mood for them. Just these pastry sours and like a big Imperial Sour and whatnot. And I was like, we'll see how good it is. It's exactly what they said it is. So if you pick this one up on the basis and the premise that this is what they're calling it, they fucking nailed it. This is a 5 out of 5 for what they're going for. Personal preference a bit different, but let me lock in a rating here with another sip because this is fucking wild. I'm a joke to that. Did you guys try to kill me, Jim? I will say in the taste, I don't think the chocolate and maple syrup as pronounced as it was in the nose. It's more about the strawberry. So maybe you get a little bit of that drizzle, that strawberry syrup, and then a couple like cut up slices of strawberries. But I think the strawberries, playing the lead role here with that. I'd say in order to go strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, and then maple syrup. But again, it's very cohesive. It intertwines in a beautiful way. And I just think this is a really tasty beer. I still think the double IPA collab they did with A Modest Man that I reviewed, you see a couple weeks apart, I think that one was definitely more in my wheelhouse, but this is still fucking really good. So Pulp Up the Late Night Jams from Kettlehead and Definitive. I'm going to give this Gotta be honest, Joe. This is a 4.5 out of 5. Like that, I like. Fuck, man. Like I said, this is close. This is like a 4.9 out of 5 if you're talking about what they say. Again, we'll read it one more time. Triple stack strawberry, chocolate chip pancakes with whipped cream. You get everything. To varying degrees, varying intensity, but they fucking nailed this. Like yeah, this is definitely like one of those beers where I drink like once a month type of deals, but I'm not going to sit here and BS you and tell you this isn't delicious because it is. And, I'm always honest with my reviews on here, whether, somebody kind enough like Jim to give me a can of it or I buy it myself or whatever. And I would highly recommend anybody out there who wants to get their hands on this, if you see it on the shelves, grab it. Which brings me to price point availability. Now, the availability of this is, Jim actually posted a comment on the other review, and he said, in addition to New Hampshire, their home base, their home state, and here in New York, they also distribute to Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Virginia, and DC. I was trying to remember off the top of my head. I'm like, which order? So 7 states in total. If you're in any of those states, you could be able to find their beers. I'm not going to say you're going to find it at every store and they're going to have every beer, but those are the 7 states they distribute to. So if you can get your hands on Kettlehead, if you're one of those 7 states, do so, because I've had a couple misses from them. I've mentioned to Jim that one of their beers was oxidized, and I've had a couple. That beer specifically I reviewed I think earlier this year. But then I've had some awesome beers like this and the last one he gave me. So Kettlehead makes some great beer from what I've had. And if you talk to the boys over at FLX Beer Reviews, Dan and Mike, they'll tell you the same. You talk to Jesse over Bumpy Road Brews, now Bumpyisms, he'll tell you that they make some great beer. So yeah, I'm really digging this beer specifically. Price point, I have no idea. I would guess $20 to $25 4-pack, somewhere in that range. So Jim or anybody else, if you know what what the price point on this is, I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, I'm going to shut this one down. There's not much more to say about it. It's fucking delicious. It's a novelty beer that they've nailed, and it's a novelty beer that, like, I could be in the mood for this, once or twice a month. And right now I'm in the mood for this. I'm going to go drink the rest of this. Like I said, I appreciate that it's not too heavy, not bogging down the palate, not cloying, not over the top. It's just sort of delicious, fruited sour, 8%. Kind of refreshing too in this heat. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut this one down. Thanks to Jim for this one. I have one more from them, which is their chocolate cocoa, like Imperial Stout, I think it was. I had it on tap at the fest, and it was good, but I was like, I don't know, 25 pours deep or whatever I was at that point, so I don't remember. So we're going to drink that on a fresh palate in the next week or two and see how it goes. Anyway, thanks to Jim. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you had this one before, post comments to the next one. Cheers.